Hello all, I'm Suyash and you're on Unacademy. You can follow me on Unacademy learning app where you can find my other courses as well. This lesson will take you through some very interesting idioms and phrases which you can actually use in daily life to make your conversations more and more interesting and happening. So please do not forget to rate, review and share this lesson as much as you can. And also please do not forget to subscribe to Unacademy YouTube channel where you can find n number of courses and lessons, and all those courses and lessons are for free, okay? And also please do not forget to download Unacademy learning app. Thank you very much. And this is my profile, and here's the link where you can just follow me for my other courses. So please find this link in the description of this video also and follow me for my other courses. Also please do not forget to shoot all your questions, any doubt, any query which you are having in your mind. You can just directly shoot that in the comment box below and all your questions will be answered for sure, okay? So let's continue with some more idioms and phrases in this lecture, and here is the very first one of this lecture, that is fine tooth comb. So when I'm saying fine tooth comb, what do I actually mean? Do I actually mean something which is related to the comb which we use to just comb our hairs? Actually not. So when I'm saying fine tooth comb, I mean to say an imaginary device one uses to look for something very carefully. Now let's say you have lost something. Now because you have lost something, then obviously you are going to search for it. You are just going to search for it in the best way possible. You just need to find it out. You just love that thing a lot and you just need to find it out somehow. You'll have to do it, okay? You just want to do it. So for that you'll have to do what? You will have to look for that thing very carefully, okay? So whenever we just want to look for something very carefully, the phrase which we can actually use is fine tooth comb, okay? Like an imaginary device one uses to look for something very carefully is what is we call as fine tooth comb. Like for example, the police examined the crime scene. Now the police actually examined the crime scene. A crime took place at some place and police actually examined the crime scene, okay? Now they went over it with a fine tooth comb but they could not find any. Now this statement actually means to say that they went over it with a fine tooth comb. That means they went over it very carefully, okay? They just tried their best to find some clue, to find something which can just take them somewhere in that case, but they could not find anything, okay? So when I'm saying they went over it with a fine tooth comb, I actually mean to say that they actually searched for something in the best way possible, but still they could not find anything, okay? So that's how we can use this fine tooth comb, okay? Now the next one which we are having is the flesh in the pen. So when I'm saying flesh in the pen, what do I mean? Flesh in the pen, we are having a pen and I'm talking about a flash in it, and whenever you are saying flash actually is related to time, okay? When I'm saying flash, that means something actually happened in a flash. That means something which is actually for a very short duration, something which is actually for very small time period, okay? So that is what this flash in the pen actually means here. It means a temporary or passing fancy, okay? A temporary or passing fancy, like when you get popular or when someone gets popular or when something is trending just for very small time, okay? Just for very less time, okay? We cannot say that it is just going to last longer. We are just saying that what is happening today or what is trending today or what is getting popular today is actually just for a very short time. So whenever you are having such a feeling in your mind that something is for a very short time, at that time we actually use this flash in the pen. So whenever I'm saying something about very short time, okay, whenever I'm just using very short time, then I'm just going to use this flash in the pen. Now this will get more clear by the use of this example, so let's go through the example very quickly. He has been acclaimed as the best new actor in the country, but I think he is just a flash in the pen. People will forget him by next year. Now here the person who is just stating this sentence actually means to say that he is actually commenting on the person who has been acclaimed as the new best actor or the best new actor in the country. Now he is actually saying that he has been acclaimed as the best new actor in the country, but I think that he is just a flash in the pen. That means he thinks that it is just for a temporary period, okay? It is just a passing fancy. People will actually forget him by next year. He's not going to sustain much more. He's not going to sustain longer as the best new actor. because he somehow thinks that he does not have that capability, he is not capable enough to be the best new actor of the country. That is why he thinks that this is a temporary title which he has got, a best new actor, and this title will actually disappear by the next year. So that's how I can use this flash in the pen. Okay, now the next phrase which I'm having here is a very simple one, that is first rate. So when I'm saying first rate, what do I mean actually? I actually mean to say best quality. So whenever something is or anything is of best quality, then the phrase which I can use is first rate. Like something is of best quality, something is first rate. Okay, like for example, Rahul is always best in his work. Now I have a friend Rahul and he is always best in his work, so I can say that his work is always first rate. That means his work is always of the best quality. So that's how I can use this first rate. Now the next one is fish out of water. Now you can yourself understand, like if I'm just taking out the fish from the water, then what is going to happen? Fish is actually going to die. Why? Because fish is not supposed to be out of water. Fish is supposed to live inside water. Okay, so somehow I'm just trying to relate it with the meaning of this phrase, and the meaning is a person who is uncomfortable in a situation or doesn't belong in a particular environment. Okay, so when I'm saying fish out of water, so fish doesn't belong to the environment which is outside the water. Fish is only for the environment which is inside the water, first of all. And obviously when I'm just taking the fish out, then fish is going to feel hell like uncomfortable outside water, isn't it? So that is actually the meaning of this phrase, a person who is uncomfortable in a situation or doesn't belong in a particular environment. Like we go to parties, okay, and we go to professional meetings. So there are times when some people feel a bit uncomfortable, or they feel that they are not getting fit in those parties or in those professional meetings. So that is the time when we can use this phrase fish out of water for those people. Like for example, he's a doctor by profession, and that's why I felt out of the place at the fancy dinner dance, like a fish out of water. Now because he's a doctor by profession and he has always studied in his life, he has never liked parties and all, but still we just took him to the party, and that is why, because he's a doctor by profession, that is why he felt out of the place at the fancy dinner dance. Okay, why? Just like a fish out of water, he behaved just, or he acted, or he felt just like a fish out of water. I mean, he was very uncomfortable, and he was actually thinking that he does not belong to that particular environment. Okay, now the next one is fly by night. So when I'm saying fly by night, it actually means irresponsible or untrustworthy. Now anyone who is irresponsible, anyone who is untrustworthy, it could be any company, it could be any person, it could be any school, it could be any college, anything. Okay, when you are giving him, when you are giving her, or when you are giving anyone this title which is irresponsible or untrustworthy, and the phrase which you can actually use for this is fly by night. Okay, like for example, the company struck me as a fly-by-night company, so I did not invest any amount. Now a company actually approached you and asked you to invest some money in that company. The company actually told you that they are just going to double your money or triple your money in this period of time, but you somehow found that company is untrustworthy. Okay, company is irresponsible. You somehow just felt that, and that is why you did not invest in that company. So you can say that the company struck me as a fly-by-night company. That means untrustworthy company. Okay, so that's how we can use this fly-by-night, and that's all for this lecture. We will be talking about some more interesting idioms and phrases in the next lecture. Thank you very much. This is Suyash signing off.